tank of gas? Does he boots on the wood, let the whiskey pass? I ain't preaching from a pulpit, I'm talking from the scar. You can dress up a lie, but it won't get far. They call it toxic when it burns your tongue. I call it true when it's finally sung. Got a dog-eared Bible of the things they hide, and a match for the curtains, let the daylight shine. You want comfort? Son, you missed your turn. This road's called real and the edges burn. Honesty don't whisper, it kicks down doors. So brace yourself for what the jukebox is for. This is FAFO, holler it loud. Fuck around with fiction, get the facts drawn. Getting triggers just the cost of the crowd. We're toxic to the lies, truth we're proud. This is FAFO, no smooth talk, no vow. You brought your stories, we brought the real. Now run your mouth and meet the South down. Fuck around and find out, burn it down. Muddy water don't care about your brand new shoes.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the FAFO Podcast. That's right. Hope y'all are doing well today. Let's move into day 2 of this new experiment we're trying. Just trying to do something different. You know, the world's in the turmoil that it's in. I say turmoil. When we all know it's always been this way, it's just our access to the information now, right? That's really where the turmoil is at. It's not in the way we've always done things. It's in our access to it. And boy, do we have a lot of access to it these days. But boy, there's some stuff out there. Got a good show lined up for y'all today. As we get through this soft launch week, we haven't done a lot of promotion on this channel yet. Good morning, Mike. Thanks. I do feel a lot better this morning. Yesterday was rough, man. It's been a little rough last few days. Yesterday was rough. But I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's been, so this week trying to launch this new show has been fun. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to take us a couple of weeks at least to really get our legs underneath us, find out what we're trying to become, what we want to become with the show. Because we have this daily show. It's going to be Monday through Friday from 9 to around 10. And then Saturday night, we are unchained, buddy. We are going to be FAFO Unchained. And it's not going to be for the weak of heart. We're unapologetic. And it's just going to be 3 hours from 9 p.m. to midnight of just chaos. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, we're talking about all the hot topics, but the shackles are off at that point, right? When we do the show on Saturday night, the shackles are off. That means if harsh language is something you can't bear, probably not the show for you. If you're real sensitive, easily triggered, probably not going to be the show for you. I'll just put that out there. Because we look at this show as speaking from our point of view as we do every single day. It's just the layman's point of view. It's not somebody who has got a degree in any of this stuff. It's about, at least for me, 55 years of living and experience in life. What I see happening in the world and in our neighborhoods and our communities. What we're going to put up with, what we don't want to put up with. Asking questions why we're putting up with it. Looking at some of these idiots out here who FAFO every day, right? We see it. You got idiots out here FAFOing every single day. And it's kind of wild. So, and there's a lot of people who are afraid to speak on it. I know, because I talk to a lot of people. You know, being in the business that I'm in, I talk to people all the time. And a lot of people, you know, if I could say something, then this is what I think. But they won't say it out loud. One, because they're scared of losing friends, business, standing in the community, whatever. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn about any of that. I don't. I mean, I've got my friends. I've got my standing, and such as it is. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is the truth as far as I've seen it and I've discerned it over the last 55 years. That's what I care about. I care about morons running around out here lying to everybody, passing that off as the truth. So yeah, I got a vested interest in the show, and this show came about because of that very thing of people spreading lies, and the word I've come to hate so much, misinformation. It used to be a cool word. Now it's just like it's so overused, and it's used in all the wrong ways because it's used to help perpetrate lies, right? It's what it is. It's what they're using it for these days. They've taken these key core beliefs to our morality, and they twisted them. And this is what we're left with. Now you have to really go in deep to decipher what's true and what's not. Even things you were once pretty sure of, you were 99% sure of was true and accurate, has been exposed as a lie. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And the reason is because of feelings. Yeah. Because of feelings. Because we are so worried about our feelings. We're so worried about everybody else's feelings that we welcome the lie. We welcome the lie instead of the truth because we don't want to hurt somebody's fragile ego, their sensitive nature. So we just live with the lie. And then the lie gets perpetuated. And then for some reason, the lie becomes the truth. And it's wild, man. Because the truth of the matter is the world doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't. The world does not care one thing about your feelings at all. Not for the 99% of us out there who actually understand how this works. But it is amazing. It is amazing how many people live in fantasy land out there. They do. And let me just be clear. This is not about lacking in empathy. All right? Because I can certainly empathize and sympathize with people. We all go through stuff. We all been through stuff. We all know people who've gone and suffered. And no one's understating that or trying to say, hey, well, that doesn't exist because it hasn't happened to me. That's BS. And I hate those people who do that. They believe that something doesn't exist because it hasn't particularly happened to them specifically. And that's bullshit. It is. It is. So you have to understand the difference between emotions and reality, right? You got to understand the difference between the two. And there is a difference. There is a big difference in those two things. Amen to the spread of lies and people lying instead of taking accountability or living in the reality instead of fantasy. And that's true. Name calling isn't working anymore. So the far left has turned to extreme violence. Yeah. And it is wild to me that so many people buy into it. They do. They buy into it. Like it's I marvel. I truly marvel at the amount of people who get their news from Facebook or Instagram or, for God's sakes, TikTok. You have so many worldly geniuses on TikTok. It is astounding. Oh, it's astounding. Oh, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. There are so many top-tier philosophers on TikTok. It's incredible. Yet the moment you hit them with one fact, their whole empire just crumbles. It's wild. So the fact is, and I'm going to say something people absolutely going to hate hearing, but it is the truth. The world does not care how you feel. And before people lose their minds, I need you to listen carefully to something. This does not mean your feelings aren't real. It means reality doesn't stop functioning because you get uncomfortable with something. You understand that? Reality doesn't stop functioning because you get uncomfortable with something. It doesn't. Your bills are still going to show up. Deadlines are still going to exist. Consequences, well, they're still going to happen. Your feelings do nothing to stop that. It doesn't. And so here we are. Dude, I've got this, I was thinking about California yesterday, and I try not to sometimes when it comes to the politics of it. What a beautiful state California is. So California itself, as a landmass, is a beautiful state. Such a crazy diverse state because it's so, all right, so that state is so long. I mean, it takes up that entire coastline almost. And it's a beautiful state full of diverse weather from top to bottom, different type of topography from top to bottom. A beautiful state. But the politics of that state, the insanity of that state, of the power, and that's the powers that be, is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of damn good people live in that state. Unfortunately, you've got these brainwashers living in that craziness up there, especially in the population centers, that really have driven the economy into the ground for the people of California. And not just the economy, just your way of living, your happiness. You want to talk about your feelings. You can't do anything up there that goes against the norm. If you do, you're in trouble. So there's this guy running for mayor, Spencer Pratt. And I'm going to tell you right now, this dude has one of the best, and I do mean best, I think, commercials for his run for governor that I thought was absolutely, it is amazing. This, you got to see it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play it for you. Let's see if I can find this thing real quick. I had it listed, I had it saved on here. Let me be sure I've got it, because you want to see this. It is incredible. It is incredible. If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to love this. You're absolutely going to love this. Check this out. All right. This is great. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. Let's check this out. Here we go. Remember, Spencer Pratt running for, I think is he running for mayor or running for governor? Let's check this out.
Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free pussy.
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
Please, I just want to rebuild my home. It's been over a year.
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground, pull through that!
There you go. What a clown show. Truly, what a clown show. That it may be the best political ad I've ever seen. It may be the best political ad I've ever seen. And what's funny about it, what's truly funny about it, is the accuracy. I mean, really. That dude put that into terms people could understand everywhere. I'd vote for him. I would vote for him. Because that idiot running it now, I mean, good Lord. I mean, it is wild, man. And I love that. I thought that was great. That was great. But how people can't see through it up there is what's truly amazing to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. Right? Because here's the thing. You have reality and then you have expectation. All right? Reality versus expectation. People expect life to adjust to them, to slow down for them, to excuse them, to protect them from any kind of discomfort. And that's just not how life works. That's the crazy part about this. And ironically, the moment you accept that is when life gets better. Yeah. But like they have been sugar-coated so much and sold on this Candyland fantasy that life can be perfect. All you gotta do is just follow us, and we're going to lead you to perfection. We're going to show you how great life can be when your every wish comes true. And what's happened because of it? Eroding faith in the system. All your high-end billionaires are starting to leave and take their companies with them, which means what? Your tax dollars are fleeing the state, which means what? That means the citizens remaining are going to have to do what? Pay more. And you would think these are things they would teach you in school, like the basics of economics. But they don't. And what's happening now is, unfortunately, the deluded people of California, not the people who've always known, who've been trying to fight, as we saw in this last election, when you have more Republicans coming out up there. But you have the deluded people who are effing around and finding out. Yeah, they are. And this is not about promoting Republicans over Democrats. That's not what this is. It's about reality and fiction. And California governorship is selling the citizens on a load of fiction. They're trying to promote feelings over facts. You know, I was watching yesterday. I love Marco Rubio. I didn't know much about Marco, really, until I'd seen some clips of him before, but I didn't know much about him until he really went to work in this administration. And I love this dude. He filled in for Caroline Leavitt on the presser, and my God, that's one dude I think everybody could get by him, because just the way he presents himself and the way he talks the way he just lays things out in the facts is just refreshing. Like, this is why we do that. Like, when he was talking about the Strait of Hormuz, all right, this whole Iran situation in the Strait of Hormuz, which is international waters, by the way. So Iran cannot legally go out there, put mines in the water, and have that be okay. And he was talking about that. And you can see people just like, okay. Like, they're not just pushing back like they would normally do it. Because when he lays it out there just factually, how do you argue against that? I've become a big Marco Rubio fan just because of that. Just because, at least tell me straight what we're doing. He talked about the rising oil prices, how much it sucks. And it sucks for everybody. And until we get this under control, that's how it is. Because if you say it's okay for one country to control international waters, well, other countries are going to say, well, we can do that too. Who's going to stop us? It's a really cool and wild thing to see some of our officials actually just coming out and saying what it is. Look, we have to end this. We have to do this. And it's going to be okay. You got to weather the storm. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that talk. Yeah, it does suck. Those rising gas prices suck. However, I feel like in the near future, it's going to be better for everybody when the gas prices come back down as they're going to. And it is funny because everybody's been talking about what for years. Iran, for at least 40 years I know of, that I remember. Well, longer than that, actually. 50 plus years. Iran needs to be taken care of. We cannot let them do this. Every president has said it. Every administration has said this. And all of their base has agreed with it. The difference is that this current administration is doing something about it. And now everybody's just up in arms. Why? Feelings. Because now we're overly sensitized towards everything. like this whole, what is it, Gates or Hormuz? I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't care whatever you identify as. That's you, buddy. But you're sitting here saying silly stuff for a country who would hang you in the street just for being gay. They would. And there's a lot of countries like that would do that. So to me, it's always about know what you're talking about when it comes to that stuff. Don't just sit here and quote something and go, oh, we're going to come up with this feeling thing and we're going to spread magic dust and rainbows and everybody's going to be great. That's not how it works. It's not how it works at all. And that right there will get you killed. It'll get you unalive quickly. Because what you don't see is people going over there. I love it when somebody goes and they truly do. So they effed around. They let their feelings convince them that they know what's best for everybody. And then they truck it over there and they find out that, oh, I was wrong. Oh, shit. What do I do now? I'm telling you, you can't let your feelings override your common sense, which is something tremendously missing these days. I mean, it is. Because here's the thing. They don't go out here and just not talk to these people. They do. They've got people over there. They're trying to do this the right way. The problem is you don't get paid for effort, you get paid for results. And they've got to take them out. You know, one of the hardest things for people to wrap their heads around is that you can work really hard at something and still fail. And people hate hearing that. They do. They hate hearing that because effort feels like you should be guaranteed success for putting in the effort. And that's just not true. It's just not true. Because the marketplace doesn't just reward effort alone. All right. It rewards value and execution, results, consistency, showing up every day. That's one of the hardest things to do. Like even being in the content business, doing things like this, like on my other channel. It's a reaction channel. I have to show up every day. Or else the whole business itself can collapse because of algorithms. Do you know we stream this show on Kick? I've never been on Kick. I just discovered what Kick was about because they are the most lenient platform, followed closely by Rumble, which this show goes up on Rumble later on in the day. But on YouTube, they are such a clown show when it comes to saying words and protecting certain types of speech that it doesn't make it worth it. Like they pick and choose who they want to be successful and who they don't. AI has completely taken over YouTube. And so it becomes difficult, but you still have to show up every day. And we still do. But it's a hard thing. You've got to be consistent. Even in the face of adversity, you have to be consistent. You can't just phone it in and go, oh, well. It's like those employees. What was the term? Something's always happening. But yet what they tell you is, I tried my best. Yet they always are underperforming and turning in inconsistent results. They miss those deadlines. And it's the same way with like content creators. If you're constantly uploading content but never getting better, there's an issue. Like I now stream every day on my other channel, every day. Except for Monday when I was super sick. That couldn't be avoided. But you always try to show up every day to get better. Let your audience be part of your show, which I think is crucial. Even if they disagree with some of the things you like. Like the beautiful thing about a reaction channel is, and like what I do, is we have tons of music, tons of people. They all have different styles of music they like. Some they share that they like, some they don't really care for. But you can't get your feelings hurt over it. Why? Because we're all individuals. And that's the thing about feelings. Feelings assume you all feel the same thing and share the same views, and that's just not true. The reality is we do not. And you have to be okay with that and not get your feelings hurt because of it. And that's it. And look, effort matters, but effort without success doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It doesn't. The world respects outcomes, not intentions. And there you go. I was looking around. I was like, I need something. Because I realized when I was doing this show that I was going to have to do a lot more research and have a lot more things lined up and decide what we're going to talk about, how are we going to talk about them, and what is truly going on out there that fits the theme of what we talk about. And then this video pops up. Dude, I don't know. I was trying to think, do I save this for later in the podcast? Or do we do about the halfway point through it, do an FAFO of the day? What guy truly fucked around and found out? Do we do that early? And the more I think about it, it's like, we're about halfway through the show. It's a great breakaway point. So I'm going to show you this. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is why you have to be alert. This is why you have to be alert. Because there are some true nutcases out in the world right now. There are. There are some true nutcases out in the world. And what I'm about to show you, what I'm about to show you, man, is wild. It is absolutely wild. So check this out. And look, I'm going to warn you now, as if the Bureau of Discretion at the beginning wasn't enough of a warning. I'm just telling you, if you're sensitive, if you're easily triggered, then you might want to just go elsewhere for right now. This happened yesterday in Garland, Texas. A guy effed around and he found out. Check this out.
66 and Derry Road. Police say the man had tried to steal several vehicles by force before trying this one. He was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead. Fox 4's David Sintendry has more from the investigation. David.
Well, a majority of family members were inside that vehicle as the carjacker tried to take off with it. The father of that family shot and killed the suspect, and it was all captured on video.
You could definitely tell that he was not in his right state of mind.
Surveillance video shows a man attacking and trying to carjack a family of 8 in Garland Sunday afternoon before the father shoots and kills him.
I'm just glad that the man was able to protect himself and his family.
Tatiana Starks manages Garland Smoke and Vape in a shopping center near Highway 66 and Derry Road.
We heard a loud crash.
Garland Police Department says the carjacker initially crashed into 2 other vehicles.
While we were responding to the scene, we received more information that the driver of that car had exited and immediately began physically trying to get into other vehicles in that parking lot.
Starks says she saw the man breaking into several vehicles at a gas station, so she took cell phone footage.
He tried to get in several different cars.
She stopped recording as the man began walking across the street toward her.
Did he make direct eye contact with you?
Yes, he was walking very intentionally.
The family of 8 unaware of what was happening and what was about to happen.
He ended up going into their car.
Video shows the carjacker in the peach shirt confronting the father in the white shirt. The father struggles with the suspect, who's trying to drive off with the family's car, with family members inside, including a baby. After nearly a minute of struggle, the carjacker, who's in the driver's seat, is shot by the father, who's outside the car near the passenger side door.
It seemed to be self-defense.
Police do not expect to file charges against the father.
It kind of all really happened really fast.
Starks, a witness to everything, just grateful we're talking about a story in which no victims were hurt.
It's just a blessing that the kids and the family walked away with no injuries.
So Garland Police Department is still working to identify that suspect who was shot and killed. So at this point in time, we don't know what sort of background this individual has, if there are any warrants out for his arrest, or if there's anything specific that he was trying to get away from after that initial crash. Heather and Steve.
Wow. I tell you. And obviously something's wrong with this guy, right? Or some kind of mental health crisis, maybe drugs, who knows? And we won't know. I mean, all that supposition, it's just alleged at this point. You don't know what drove the guy to do the things, because he wasn't moving as nonchalantly as he was moving. You have to believe it's either a mental health crisis or there's drugs or something involved. He'd already crashed his car, trying to carjack other ones, and he wasn't doing it super aggressively, like rushing it. He was just casually walking up, trying to just step in and take their stuff. And we may find out later that it is just that. The guy had maybe he had a drug reaction. Something might have happened. We just don't know. But there is a mental health crisis in this country, buddy. And that is tragic. And thankfully, the family, no one was hurt. Those kids weren't hurt. You saw them protecting. Boy, wow. The mamas were protected. Dad was on it. Dad wasn't playing around. Old Pops wasn't playing around with that. It's like, you're not coming up in here trying to do this to my family. He wasn't having it. And he was in the right for it. And I believe, like the policeman said right there, there's no reason to charge that guy. I mean, the evidence is there. He effed around and he found out. Now, why he effed around, hopefully we'll know, and they'll get to the bottom of it. It's sad, though. It's sad that a life had to be lost in such a way. And then not only that, but for those kids who are going to be traumatized because of it. And I'm pretty sure the adults, too. That guy had to take a life. That man had to take a life in defense of his family. And willingly doing so, protected his family, protecting those kids and those women who were there with him. And kudos to him. Kudos to that man. And it's just, but the sad reality on the opposite side of it is that he will have to live with knowing that he took a life and was forced to do it. Knowing that he would probably choose that every single time. But it doesn't change the fact that I think Clint Eastwood said it best in Unforgiven. When you take a man's life, you take all he has and all he's ever going to have. And that's a hell of a thing. And so I think that was, it was tough. It's tough watching those type of things. But again, it just shows you that in today's society, with as much mental illness as there is running around, which I think is in large part social media, because people are so just driven by negative content. And again, going back to these feelings, they're preyed upon through social media now. Our leaders prey upon this low-hanging fruit out there. And it's terrible. And these are the results of it. Now, we don't know that for sure. That's just allegedly. But that's just my thoughts on it. They used to hang horse thieves. We need to return to those days. I mean, imagine consequences. Imagine that. Having to have consequences. How much garbage would that stop? It'd stop a lot. It would stop a lot. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, definitely. It's a line from Clint Eastwood and Unforgiven. Exactly. Because here's the thing, and this whole show is, when we're talking about feelings, this isn't about mocking struggle, because we all struggle. We all do. Everybody struggles. This is about understanding that reality treats everyone the same way. It does. We're all treated the same way. It's how we deal with that. It's how we deal with that. I wrote this book. I've been working on it for a while. And it is about mental health. But it's set in a horror format. But I based a lot of my truth and my experiences and things I've gone through from mental health viewpoints. And I couldn't talk about it normally, like we just have a conversation, so I wrote a book about it. It treated it as a fictional story based on true events, because they are. Because they're hard to deal with. Find your outlet for processing. You've got to find your outlet for processing. You can't just keep it bottled up, right? You can't. Those feelings, that emergence, especially in today's climate, you can't keep that bottled up. You got to find you a healthy outlet for it. And I mean a healthy outlet. This was not healthy. All right? The guy going to try to shoot up the correspondent dinner, not healthy. That's not healthy. There's nothing healthy about that. So why are we doing it? Why are we saying it's okay, and why are we making excuses for it? Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And it's a sad thing. And I know you get the feeling like you're overwhelmed. It's easy to get to where you're feeling overwhelmed a lot of the times, but guys, come on. Come on. Life keeps moving, and it's going to keep moving. The question is whether you do. Do you keep moving? I saw this thing. I was looking at it, and I got tickled about it, really. It's like you see a lot of people who are cocky. They'll go out there. They just believe that they are it. Right? They are it. And so many people live inside those kinds of intentions, right? I was going to start the business. I was going to lose weight. I was going to fix my life. I'm the best. I'm this, I'm that. And then they try to transpose that onto other people. And they F around and they find out. Just like this one. Just like this one. Let me show you this gym. This gym right here, I thought, is just another perfect description of FAFO, baby. This is it. Here you go. Here you go. Check this out. Oh, I love this stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. Let's go.
This guy slapped his rude opponent, not out of any personal grudge, but sheer contempt and humiliation, since he was a seasoned pro boxer while his opponent was a YouTuber. The pro boxer, G. Perez, saw his opponent as a stepping stone to fame, and from the start of the fight, he toyed with his prey, constantly provoking him, every move brimming with disdain. But what he didn't know was that the YouTuber wasn't just there for show. He'd been preparing for this fight for 3 months. All his pre-fight training was to respond to that humiliating slap, to teach the arrogant pro boxer a simple lesson. Underestimating your opponent will cost you.
Right hand to the inside. Big right hand on the entry for Bradshaw.
After the fight, the arrogant pro boxer shed tears of regret. He'd aimed for fame, but ended up a laughingstock.
There's comeuppance right there. There's your comeuppance right there. All your arrogance, all your thoughts. Trying to put your feelings, your microaggressions. Is that what they call them? Microaggressions? God, I hate that term too. I even used it. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. And then you do that, and then you just get shown. You FA, you FO. Because being the loudest talker in the room doesn't make you the biggest badass. It means you're overcompensating. Big time. And when you overcompensate, you find out. You find out. Hope you can watch the Edda Aquarium meteor shower tonight. Dude, every time there's a meteor shower around our house, it's overcast. I would love to. But there is, man, I'm going to tell you. I would love to see it, but you never know. Everybody has a plan until you land a punch. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once you get popped in the mouth one good time, all that careful planning goes out the window, which is hilarious. I don't know, man. I don't know. I love seeing it, though. I love seeing that happen. I love it when a bully just gets put in their place. And we see a lot of bullies these days. We see a lot of them, but most of them are online. You know, the keyboard warriors are so tough. They're so tough because they wrote words. But what gives them that mindset of being so tough is that people on the receiving end give them that power over them. No one has power over you unless you give it to them. And this is one thing I can tell you from a bullying and bullied standpoint. The only way people can bully you and put you down and keep you down is if you let them. Yes, sometimes that means you may have to take a punch, whether that's literally or physically. And that's not a pleasant prospect at all, ever. But it also means that you don't let people like that dictate your happiness and your way of life. You don't do it. You have to do that. You have to be willing to do that. I mean, it's a crazy time in the world. But again, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's always been crazy times. It's always been crazy times. That hasn't changed. It's just our access to the information is what has changed. That has has let us in on, oh, the world's nuts. Well, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. The world has been loony for a long time. But now it's just highlighted every night on our phone screens, on our TV screens, on our computer screens, from the podcast we listen to. It's all there. And it's all drilling in, right? And this, it's about how you process it, what you let rest in there. Do you let it get to your feels? Do you let that develop who you are? It's all right there. Because the fact is, wanting better and building better in your life are two different things. And you can listen to all this stuff and want better, but you have to build better. You can't sit here and listen to all this garbage and take it in and believe it's the gospel and expect to build something that's going to make that all okay, because it's not how the rest of the world functions. You sit in the elections all the time. You look at those maps. Where do you see most of, like in the last 2-3 elections, actually? Perfect example. Most of the Democrats' votes come from where? Population centers. Why is that? Because in a population center, you have the most control over the most people and their thought processes. You can dictate those. People out everywhere else outside those population centers, we're not controlled that way. And that's true. Sure, you have your outliers, but most people out here don't. That's why the maps look like they do. Because most people in the rural areas are like, dude, we're just neighbors, friends. We don't care what you look like, what you believe, how you believe, what your race is. Nobody cares. They only seem to care in places where they can control your thoughts and feelings. And that's in these big-ass population centers. That's not news. That's facts. It's just, do we want to accept those as facts? Are we going to sit here and continue to believe, wrongfully, that these people have our best interest at heart? They do not. They don't live the same lives as you. I always get tickled over, look, I love movies. I love acting. I love entertainment. I love all of it. But don't for one second believe that these entertainers out there know more than you. They live in fantasy lands. They don't know more than you. They're all about their feelings. Oh, I got a hangnail. I may die now. Stop. They're not your friends because every now and then you may get a shout out. They don't care about you that way. You're a number to them. And I'm not saying this is all celebrities. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every celebrity is like that, because there are some that truly love their fan bases, and you can tell. They're all into their fan bases. But even those who love their fan bases aren't geniuses when it comes to politics and the geopolitical society we live in. So you've got to do your own thinking, people. You got to do your own thinking. Because we built a culture where people being emotionally validated automatically means they're progressing, and that's not true. What's up, Poke? How you doing, buddy? And look, validation has a place. It does. Validation has a place. But validation without accountability becomes stagnation. And if you become stagnant, you become lost. If all you do is sit around and wallow in your feelings all the time and let all these other voices come in, you get all your news from social media, from people who are being told they're disenfranchised so they believe it. If that's all you get your news and thoughts from, that's all you're ever going to be, and you're not going to be successful. You're not going to have a life. You're not going to have a quality of life. And that, to me, that's the tragic part of it. To me, that's the tragic part of it. Like, we all have the ability to get out here and get stuff done and make our life we want. But do we do that? Do we take the initiative to do that? Do we stop letting people tell us what we can't do and start proving what we can do? Because some people, they don't want solutions. All they want is permanent validation. All right, they just want to be told they're good enough, that they're this, that they're successful, even if they've never done anything to be that. That's all they want. Is for people to tell them what they are, what they should be. And that's terrible. And that's terrible. So, feelings, your thoughts, your actions, everything that we do, everything that we are, everything we try to do, you have to be able to go out here and realize that this world just doesn't care about that stuff. It cares about your actions. It cares about you as an individual creating the life you want to live. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about you just sitting around wishing and thinking. You have to do. You have to do. You can't just sit around and wish. How many times do people ask, why is life doing this to me? What did I do wrong? It's not that you did anything wrong. It's usually that you're not doing anything, period. You got to take action. You got to take action out there, guys. You got to. Look, nobody's saying that your feelings aren't real. All right, it's not what we're saying. But they don't override reality. Your feelings do not override reality. All right, they don't. So what do you have to do? What do you have to do? Like, what are some of the things out there that you had to face? The reality too. When your feelings said something else, breakups, how rough are they? Heartbreak, money, failure, discipline, health, any relationship that has ended badly that you thought was tight. All those feeling-based things that you thought were so good that they can stand to break you down, but you have the ability to rise above that. You just have to take action. You just have to take action. And I believe you can do that. Because life isn't cruel. It's just consistent. Life isn't cruel. It's just consistent. Or are you going to be consistent with it? Are you going to start learning how to win inside of life? Because that's the key. Are you going to learn how to do that? Because life is not going to adjust to you. You have to adjust to life. So I hope you've taken something away from this today. Maybe not. But I promise you, taking action and being consistent will definitely get you closer to where you're going to want to be and how you want to go in the life you want to live, rather than sitting here wallowing in feelings and wondering why me or poor pitiful me, and just dwelling in those things that are terrible, that just drag you down every second of every day. There's too much life out there. There's too many good things out there and good people out there. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in to today's show. Remember, we're here every day at 9 a.m. You can follow us live on Kick and on Facebook. This show appears later on Rumble in the afternoons. And then Saturday night, it is FAFO Unchained. That's right. FAFO Podcast Unchained Saturday nights, 9 to 12. If you want to be a guest on the show, you got to reach out. Reach out, because this is the space where you can talk. This is the space where you can say anything you damn well please. This is that space you're looking for. Because we don't judge you. Speak your mind. We don't have to agree, but you can speak your mind about it. And come Saturday nights, we will be doing that in spades. And it's going to be a fun show. We got a lot of stuff planned for sure. Because here's the truth. This is the Fuck Around and Find Out podcast. All truth, no BS. Guys, I'll see you in the next one.
You can label me a problem, go on and try, but the numbers don't stutter and the records don't lie. Got a front porch and a loaded mind. Say what you mean or get left behind. Honesty ain't a sin, it's a southern law. Speak it plain or don't speak at all, so raise your glass. If your skin is thick, we don't do scripts and we don't do tricks. We don't need a filter on the mic, so step up heavy or get out of the light. This is faithful, holler it loud. Fuck around with fiction, get the facts drawn. Hitting triggers just the cost of the